Stage managers, lighting designer. So yeah, anyone want to share maybe what you talked about in your small little team? Who's excited about sharing? Yes, please get started.
Hello, my name is Leslie, and I just want to say thank you to all five of you all, or six. I haven't had an opportunity to share, to experience your art, but I'm looking forward to that. I just want to say, I want to say thank you for your stories and for your for sharing and for your vulnerability. And I just wanted to hear from you all, especially the person this is your first time doing it. So how did it feel to stand in front of everyone and receive hopefully the love that you felt that we were giving back to you? How did that feel for you? I'm just curious.
My true feelings about it, I wasn't knowing what to expect, so just going into it fully, aware, just being aware and holding space. You hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I wasn't knowing what to feel or what to experience. So I was just going through emotions while I was going through. So it was very interesting. I started crying. You know what I mean? So it was. I'm not really used to sharing an emotion like that, but it felt healing though.
I definitely felt a lot of love, probably from everyone past the first row. I couldn't see your face. So when I was looking out, I kind of just wasn't really looking for anything, but I was just trying to feel, people's energy, and I could tell that from, audio responses, people were responding to the different pieces at different moments, and I felt everyone really, really engaged. So I just tried to stay as present with my emotions as possible, because it's a very vulnerable story to be channeling for Jermon, and then to also hearing my own story through Jermon. So just trying to allow myself to be okay with the vulnerability, because so often I feel like I'm navigating my workspace, public space with a lot of guards up. So I think it's necessary for us to feel like we're safe, we can be vulnerable and feel what we feel.
Said a lot of it. I think along the same lines of I wasn't really sure what to expect. We have done it before in an open, it was outside, and that was really different, especially knowing that we weren't going to know who was going to be there, who was going to show up. So tonight it was very interesting understanding that people I knew were going to be here, and but really just kind of having this unintentional wall of, well, I'm not really sure what it's like to experience feeling an audience support you, or feeling loved ones who are an audience supporting you. So that was interesting, but I did, kind of like Ray said, without really being able to see, you could definitely feel the energies coming from the entire room, and it's pretty intense. So I appreciated it a lot, because it was necessary. It's very juxtaposed to feel very vulnerable, and then at the same time feel an entire room holding you at this moment where you're not sure what is going to happen. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all for the love. I mean, you're just saying when we were checking in the back, just that we could feel all of you the entire time, and that's just so comforting, and seeing your beautiful faces. And I think this was the first time that we really got to feel it, because this was the first time as a team we did it, and it was so important. But I just felt, along with feeling the things for my story of just being there for each other. So I felt myself even more present for everyone when I was sitting. So it's just this range, and it's just maybe more present, because we're doing tech rehearsals and whatever. You just don't get to really feel it and be there. So you're just feeling the whole range of emotions, along with yours, right? So I feel like it's beautiful because as an audience and as the team up here, it's very intertwined. And this is also our first time feeling it completely like you do, which is why it's so raw and so beautiful, because Jermond is here as well. So thank you for sharing it with us. For the first time, all of us together. Woo!
Other questions? Wait, is there hand? There's like lots of hand movements, but it's not actually hands. It's just exciting hands.
Hand right here, and then
Great.
you have a hand at the top.
This is more like a comment. I just want to say that, first of all, my name is Fanny, and I want to say that I admire the resilience in which I felt each individual one coming to full circle with themselves and accepting who they are, regardless of whoever thinks different. I admire that.
Thank you.
My name's Ashley. First, I love all you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you all and for your ability to share this with so many people. So yeah, thank you. My question is more so about context. I guess this is more so directed at you, Tree, and DK, but also I guess everybody as a whole. But I know the last performance, there are so many factors that differ from this performance and the last one. And I know the last one, since I was there, something that was really, I don't want to say problematic, but something that was really challenging for me was witnessing this piece in an environment that was totally different. Like it was meant to be in that environment, but there were so many other pieces of art surrounding it that had no relationship. And so I'm really curious what it feels like to have DK's work out here, almost directly speaking to this or relating to this in some way or fashion, and what that feels like for you all going through this.
Do you want to start? Okay,
I was going to let you start.
Yeah. I don't think I need. Well, I think that's a great question, and just to give folks some context, the first time we did this piece was in a place called in West Hollywood, and it was a pop-up event called Install WeHo, and yeah, it was hard to do it there. There's a lot of, I think the piece was like a commentary on West Hollywood and the sort of the racelessness that often exists there, and the white gayness that is so profoundly racist. And so then we have these three people, but Jermon's story was present, though, even though he wasn't there, stories that are really talking about the intersectionality of queerness, of blackness, of brownness, of of different religions, and I felt like we were actually occupying West Hollywood in a really powerful way. And so to be here at Highways, especially the sort of work that has come out of Highways, and I've been coming here for a long time as a young queer to like witness really amazing brown queer folks do stuff here and black queer folks do stuff here, that it feels like this is right in the lineage of this space. And Harlow was saying like to have lights is very different too. To like have the focal point be on the people's stories and the different textures. It adds another layer for sure. So I felt like, whereas in WeHo, I felt like we had to like create like an enclave of serenity because everything else outside of it was utter madness. I feel like this whole team has created this. Hala said it really well. Like you all came to be here to be in love with this and be in love with yourself, and it feels very different than where we were at last time. You want to speak to your work?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hi. I wanted to tell stories. I wanted to tell stories of folks who I've come to know in my community who make a really big impact. I wanted to speak the unspoken. I wanted to.
I think you need the mic.
Oh, I will talk louder so that folks can hear me in the space. I really just wanted to tell some stories of warriors that I've come to know and present them here today to communicate visually. What you're seeing on the walls is essentially my journal. It's my visual journal. I don't always communicate well verbally or write things down. I don't articulate myself that way, but I can communicate with images, and I have full conversations with colors and shapes and line. So to have these warriors on the canvas and their spirits just sort of leave the canvas and come in this space has been really spectacular and organic and really powerful.
We have a question down here, and then we'll go up.
So, hello, thank you. Last year when we saw the performance in Install WeHo, at the last part where people holding on to their hate, last year I couldn't help but, like, it was external, you know? It was about the people in our lives letting go in order to feel the pain and to be there with us. And perhaps because of the process that I'm in right now, I can't help but feel like it's actually coming from the self, letting go of our own anger to deal with our own pain. And I was just wondering if, like, in the writing, that was what it was.
No, any of you want to answer?
I mean, I can answer it. That's a good question. To be honest, I think like whatever it, like however it fits for you, you can use it for that way. You know, I think that was the James Paul quote, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you know, whatever was in his mind at the same time, you know. So however you use it to help you, you know, get your journeys in sequence. That's the only thing I can think of.
I think there was a lot of letting go in the writing process because I just think, at least for me personally, growing up, I put a lot of walls there because I knew that people had a lot to say and had a lot to, they wanted to pick places to try to break me, and I think putting the walls up I thought was a really good idea until last year we got together and started writing, and I realized having to break them down was the roughest thing. But in that, I think you become comfortable with, you know, the internalized walls. Like there's texture and there's color and there's pieces that come at you, and I feel like letting go of those pieces, there's comfort in these walls of hate for yourself that you can't have, and things that you're not sure how to let go of because you don't really know how to live without them. But we held a lot of space for each other the entire time and kind of built back up together what you got to see, but also just as individuals, we got to build each other back up and help with that. And I think that it's like home. This team is like home.
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think so. Yeah, I think that's what it was for me. I remember when we would have our rehearsals, like April, and we had to write, and we were figuring out the writing process and what we're gonna say, and I was having such a hard time, and we had a date that we had to get Patrice, you know, our journals, and I didn't have anything. And it was like, okay, 1 day, 2 days, Patrice is like, okay, it's not working, right? The prompt isn't working. I'm like, I don't know what to say to my mom. I mean, I've already had the hardness, the hard conversations, there's walls. I can break a wall, and I try to in myself and my conversations, but there's only so much. And Patrice was like, okay, this is a fantasy. What do you want to say? And I really appreciate that she did that, because it gave me the space, along with the time that we had, and listening to my partners do that as well, because it was really late, past the deadline, and it was a Mother's Day. It was finally May, it was Mother's Day afternoon. I was finally like, okay, I'm gonna write my mom the letter. And I got to and it was breaking down the hate inside, and that's why I feel like the tone of mine is, love and acceptance. And I think over the year, I was having conversations with other queer Arab folks, and we were talking about the difference of love, like family love and family acceptance, and knowing that there's a difference, or maybe, at least in my friend conversation, is we experience family love, but maybe acceptance in a different way. And that I can accept my mom in this way, but love her still. And so I think when we talk about the hate and dealing with the pain, that's where it comes from. It's how do we do that, and how do we do that relationally? And I couldn't have done that up until this point, in my life, these past 10 or so years of figuring it out with the family and myself.